phone always ringing. Ah. All right, y'all, we're going to get started. I'm going to get started. I'm going to get started. I want to just share this in my Facebook group. This thing always gives me. Hey, Yana, I see you, boo. How are you? How are you? How are you? I see you, baby. I see you. I'm going to get started. I'm going to get started because I'm ready, ready, ready. Why are you still single? Say hello. Say hello. I see you watching. Say hello. Yes, I want to talk about this here, baby. I'm blessed. I feel amazing, Yana. I've been working all day. It is September. I am preparing for everything that I prayed for, and I'm just keeping my head, I think, in the right place. And I think I need to just stay focused. That's the main thing for me, is to just stay focused. I had to cut my good phone down because y'all know somebody gonna call me. You know somebody gonna call me. Somebody gonna ring the phone while I'm in the middle of this live, because they always do. Because they always do. I want to talk about why. Why are you single? Why are you single? That's what I want to talk about tonight. And maybe I can give you some tips and help you to understand what's hindering you from being single. I see you watching. Say hello, say hello. I don't know who is watching, but y'all say hello, say hello, say hello. I know your mama taught y'all. I keep telling y'all, don't come up to nobody's house and don't say hello. Y'all know how to act. Y'all know exactly how to act. Okay. I feel amazing. And I want to talk about this. Okay. So Wednesday at the Emotions Forum, I want to talk about that real quick. At the Emotions Forum, I want to talk about the fact that this Wednesday, we're going to be playing the dating game, right? So we're going to be asking questions, and I'm going to lead the group. I'm going to be asking questions and have the group. So because there's a lot of men and a lot of different, single men and single women, and then there's married men who come and women who are in relationships. But we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to do the good dating game on Wednesday, and it's going all the way DOW. And I might have a question or two outside of the questions that I have in store for everybody, a second topic. So I'm not sure yet. I'll probably do the topic, and then as more people come, I'll begin the dating game. So yeah, the Emotions Forum has been dope. I think I'm going to run it until the end of September. I want to get back to Bible study on Wednesday, and I kind of been MIA. So prayerfully, I could start, getting back to my Bible study on Wednesday. If there is another night that I could fit in the Emotions Forum, like a Monday night or Thursday night, I'll try to do that. But I can't do Tuesday or Wednesday anymore. So we're going to, see how I'm going to let everybody know on Wednesday. Um, After September, if they want to continue, it'll have to be done on a different date. Because my time is limited now. I'm at crunch time, and I don't think I told anybody. Maybe I mentioned it last year, but I'm in school, and I am writing a paper right now. So it's a lot. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to get this paper done. Stuff that I have to do moving forward, for my own personal life, for my own personal journey. But I ain't tell anybody I was in school last year. But last year I took 4 classes and it was murder. So I'm not really, I don't do public service announcements a lot about my personal life. I just keep it moving and do what I got to do. But God is good, and I am blessed and highly favored. Y'all say hello. I see y'all watching. Say hello. So anyway, let's get to this. Why are you single? Why are you still single? The other day at the Emotions Forum, there was a gentleman there who asked me, why am I still single? And a lot of my male friends keep asking me the same question. One guy called me on the phone. We were just having a conversation about something else. And he said to me, Kim, I don't understand what you're doing, all that you're doing, and being the type of person that you are, why are you still single? And it's like the $50 million question. And in that particular moment, I didn't have the answer for him. But I thought about it and I came up with my answers, which I'll give later on after I say some of the things that we do to stop us from being in healthy, happy relationships, right? So maybe these little tips that I have will be of some assistance to you. I pray so, and that it'll be healthy, good for you just to hear this. So, one of the first reasons why I think a lot of people are single and why they can't seem to find the right person for them is because what people tend to do is they tend to connect and get involved with and be in relationship with, right? People who don't want the same things that they want. They don't want it. So for instance, you want a large family, right? You want to have, all your grandkids over. You want to cook big dinners. You're into all of that. You like entertaining. And they don't want any of that. They're reclusive and they just want to kind of, just have a relationship with you and them, right? And nobody else, right? Um, that's one reason. They're not like you. They don't have an outgoing personality. They're not into the whole family dynamic where the family members are, always around. Some people don't like that. Some people just want it to be you and them. That's it. That's all. And I'm not trying to do all the grandkids around all the time. I'm not trying to have them over every weekend. I just want to chill and I want to do things differently or the way that I want to do them. There are some people who genuinely do not want what you want. They don't, you know, they like to hang out all the time. I mean, all the time. And you're kind of reclusive and like to be in the house. They may not be into the same things that you're into, and they don't want the same things that you want. They could be a loner, and you yourself, you're outgoing. You have a very bright, personality. You love people. And so you may not be compatible with them. And I think a lot of times, realistically, a lot of us choose people because we're attracted to something in them and but they're not in alignment with who we are and where we're going in our lives. And so honestly, when you think about that, that may very well be a reason why you're still single. You have to get in alignment with yourself first. That's number one. You have to ask yourself, what do I want and what's important to me? Y'all say hi. I see y'all watching. Hello. Y'all ain't saying nothing. You have to be in alignment. They have to be in alignment with what it is that you want, right? And a lot of times, if we don't know what we want, it's going to be extremely difficult to attain that. I don't care what it is, whatever you write down, or if you haven't written anything down, or you're just kind of winging it and you're not sure about what you want and what you truly desire for your life. Hey, all right, cousin, I see you. Yes. And, you're not sure about what you want. You're not sure about how you're going to get there. That's a surefire way to fail. That's a surefire way to fail. Hey, Nicole, I see you. Thanks for supporting, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? A lot of people pray. Hey, Monica, I see you. How are you, my love? A lot of people get into relationships, y'all, or they start off. I'm sorry, not really knowing what it is that they want. They don't have a clue, right? So, like when you're younger, you kind of wing your way and then you learn what you don't want. And you then start operating from the perspective and in the headspace of, well, I know I don't want this and I know I don't want that. But whatever you focus on, whatever it is you don't want, if you focus on what you don't want, you're going to get more of what you don't want. So that's like the first thing, right? The first thing is to be clear about what you want. So when you're clear about what you want, when the wrong thing shows up, you will not involve yourself that deeply. Monica, are you still in California? Oh my God, I'm just thinking, like, are you still in California, sis? Yeah. So when I think about that, I think about, you got to write down what it is you want. And please, for the love of God, do not write down this laundry list of all of this nonsense. He got to be 6'2", 200 pounds, and da 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 da. Please don't do that. Please write down the attributes, the things that you desire your relationship to look like good character and stuff like that. And men need to do this as well, because beautiful and amazing and wonderful women be showing up in their lives, but they will not, because they believe that she's just like every oh, you're in New York. Oh, okay. I was wondering, okay, because it's Monica, and I was wondering if it was Monica from California. Okay, because I ain't see the last name. Makes me think of the law of attraction. Absolutely, Nicole. That's what it is. It's the law of attraction. And what happens is that a lot of times, because we're unclear and we're wishy-washy, when you're wishy-washy, you're not going to get to the bag. You're not going to get to the relationship bag. You're not going to get to the bag of finances. If you don't know if you want to start a business or not, or you don't know what company you want to work for, or you don't know what to put on your resume, or you don't know. I mean, it's in every area of your life. It's in every area of your life. Write the vision and make it plain. Write it upon tablets. Though it tarry, wait for it. Real talk. It's going to get you to where it is that you want to be, right? And so maybe perhaps people are single. You're single because you haven't made up your mind about what it is that you want, right? You don't have any real clarity around it. Like sometimes I sit, and this is my own personal things. Like sometimes I'll be in the middle of doing something. I walk in the other room. Okay, so I'm, my age, and I forget what I went in the room for. And then I'll go back in the room and try to figure out what it is I went in the room for. Because if I'm walking it back into the kitchen, then I need to know what I'm going into the kitchen for. And I'll be like, Dad, what was I going to get? So that's an age thing. We're not as clear. We don't have as much clarity. But I promise you, now I write notes, even when I'm going to the grocery store, about what it is I need to get that's going to go in this dish that I'm about to make, right? I need clarity around everything that I do. I need to be intentional about what it is that I do. And so I'm saying that to you all because you need to be intentional about what it is that you want for your life, period. Right? So if the wrong person walks into your life, you already know that that person is not the person for you, right? But this goes across the board with anything that you want. If you going in a furniture store, you got to kind of have an idea of what it is that you want to buy when you get there, right? So if you're not clear, then Lord knows you're going to meet all kinds of folks that don't measure up to your standard. And once you have your standard in order, then and only then can you make the decision like, wait a minute, this is really what I want for my life. I know when I went to go get my couches, I said, I want a blood red couch. I knew exactly what I wanted. I laid out the plan before I got there. I had to get it custom made, but that's what I did. And I paid the extra. And I ain't get a couch and a love seat. I got 2 couches because that's how my living room is set up, right? I knew the color scheme. I knew everything. I said, red, that's the color that I want. Happens to be my favorite color, but that's neither here nor there, right? Listen to me when I say this to you. Clarity is everything. Mindset is everything. Let me get to the second point, right? You will choose differently, and this is in alignment with what I'm saying. When you deal with someone, right? When you're clear about what you want, but sometimes we are too picky. Okay, that's for both men and women. Sometimes you're just a little bit too picky. I'm not saying you shouldn't have standards. I'm saying that if you do something or she do something that's crazy, right? It may not even be crazy. It might be something that you just don't like. Let me put it that way, right? So here I am, and I'm saying what I'm saying to you because this is really important. It could be the way a person holds their fork, and some people will not go out with them again. It could be the fact that the person didn't open up the car door when you guys were going out to dinner, and you're not going to go out with them again, right? I mean, nobody is perfect. And then looking for the Denzel Washingtons and the Holly Berries. Listen here, some of y'all too picky. That ain't gonna work out. Denzel is already spoken for. And although there's some fine, and I mean fine brothers out here. Hello. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. Right? That does not mean that those fine brothers are going to want or are your type and are going to want to be in relationship with you. And some of us are too picky. We be like, oh my God, they didn't get the car door. Oh my God, they didn't open up the restaurant door. Oh my God, they did this and they did that. Little different things. Stop being so picky because some of it is just petty. Some of it is just petty. Sometimes they don't know how you move. I remember one time I was going out with this guy, and he was like, and I also used to get in my own car door, just flinging it open. He said, if you don't close that door back right now, he looked at me and I said, oh, because I'm used to it now. I expect it now. Right. But if a guy doesn't open up my car door, I'm not going to cast him back into the sea. I'm just going to tell him that's something I really like. I feel special as a woman. Right. And then when he opens up your car door, he walks around to the other side. Usually we got the bleepers, it unlocks the door. Y'all got what I'm saying, right? So it'll unlock both doors. You don't have to lean over and open the door, right? But maybe, you can do something to show him how much you appreciate him in that, right? And do something nice for him. Right. But sometimes we so picky, it got to be 6 feet, 6 figures, and all this other stuff. And it's nonsense. It's nonsense. When a woman writes down what she really wants and a man writes down what he really wants from a woman, here's the thing. It's a laundry list. She ain't got to be a size 6, right? She ain't got to be a size 4. Some men like women with a little meat up on their bones, honey. You know what I mean? But my point is, and he may not be muscular and he may not have the 6-pack, right? So, like we have to stop being so picky in regards to that. I remember some of my friends will only date pretty boys. I mean, men that was finer than them stayed in the bathroom. I'd be like, child, I ain't got time for that. I don't want no fly guy. Like that's just my preference. I'd rather just go out with a regular average guy. Right? Just a regular man. He ain't got to be, all this, brolic and well, no, that's not necessary for you to love me, for you to treat me right. I don't want you with your belly hanging over your pants, even though my belly used to hang over mine. But that's how I always been. Right? So these are the things that we really have to pay attention to when we look and stop being so picky. Just understand that nobody's perfect and that your perfect partner is going to make mistakes. So sometimes we make such a big deal out of everything that we end up with nothing, right? And I'm not telling you to lower your standards and settle for some man that don't even know how to pray for you. No, I'm not telling you that. I am simply saying that if you're going to be in a relationship with someone, don't be a stickler for everything, because truth, you ain't perfect either. And that's the truth. So you work with a person, you see what their shortcomings are, their flaws are, and you see how beautifully flawed each and every one of us are, right? And it'll change the dynamics of how you see things. The other thing is dealing with a person with low self-esteem. Sometimes you're single, not because you have low self-esteem, but because you're dealing with people who have low self-esteem. Hear me when I tell you. Now, it's possible that we can have low self-esteem. I know I had it for a very long time. And I don't have it anymore. I feel amazing, But sometimes people with low self-esteem will sabotage a relationship that you're trying to have with them, and you don't even understand why. You don't understand why they're acting the way that they're acting. You don't understand, like, why they're doing some of the things that they're doing. You're kind of like Like, why they acting like that? And all of a sudden, they start sabotaging stuff, or they start trying to degrade or belittle you. And you're like, wait a minute, where is that coming from? I remember that one time I went out with a guy on like a couple of dates. Like, we used to kind of hang out. He's a cool guy. But, I'm not even going to tell you. I don't, it was nothing but like a couple of dates. We didn't even kiss. We didn't do anything, right? And I remember we went to the store and we were like in Bed Bath and Beyond or something. I was in there buying a comforter set for my son or something, and he went with me. And he began to tell the lady behind the counter how bad of a person I was and how I wasn't this and I wasn't that. And at first I started laughing, but then I was checking, like, because it was odd. Like, why are you saying that to the lady behind the counter? And he really went in to talk about how I wasn't this and and I had only been out with this guy like 3 or 4 times, but it didn't matter. He began to really come after me because I didn't like him like that. And he thought I thought too much of myself, and he was trying. Hey, Kokisha, how are you, my love? Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. Okay, it's good to see you on here, sis. So I'm out and I'm at the store, and this guy is talking. And at first I thought he was kind of joking and this whole business, right? And then I realized that no, he really had an axe to grind with me. And the axe that he had to grind was that I wasn't really giving him the energy and the space back that he wanted me to give him. He's like, Kim, you don't like me. And I said, no, I like you, but I wouldn't kiss him because I'm not quick to kiss anybody. You get a peck on the cheek, hey, and a hug. That's it. Right? Because I'm very particular, right? And he hadn't shown me that he was for me. And it was a good thing I didn't get into him because he wasn't it. But the reason why he felt like I was too much was because he didn't think that much of himself. It didn't have anything to do with me, right? I wasn't coming off rowdy or highfalutin or stuck up or any of that, because y'all know I don't get down like that. I'm just real and, open, right? But this is going back years ago. I might not have been as like I am now, but I'm sure that I guess the signal I was giving him is that he wasn't the one, and primarily because of his lifestyle and the things that he was doing, right? But you don't talk to people like that if you like them. So some people will sabotage the relationship because they don't even like themselves, or they don't think that they're enough, right? And they can't be your friend because they want you to want them in the ways that they want you, right? And you don't. And so some people, they have low self-esteem, they don't feel good about themselves, and they will try to destroy you with their words. So you have to be careful. But you also have to be careful that you are not the person that is suffering from low self-esteem, and that you are not sabotaging any hope of having a great relationship, right? And here's a little note to self. It doesn't benefit you to date someone with low self-esteem, and that's for men and women. Hey, Patricia, I see you. How are you? Yeah, it does not benefit you in any way at all to be in a relationship with a person who has low self-esteem. It doesn't help you at all, right? Okay, so here's another reason why you might be sabotaging your relationship. You might be sabotaging your relationship because you're too comfortable in your routine. You like to come home from work, take off your clothes, watch TV series, and eat and cook yourself a nice little meal and chill out and get in your PJs, and that's it. That's all. Well, last time I checked, the UPS man was not going to break in your door. Hey, my sister, Dr. Pamela Brown Green is in the building. My sister from another mister. I love you, sis. Listen, can I tell you, if you are in such a routine that you won't even go out of the house and you're thinking the UPS man is going to break in and ask you out on a date, you're sadly mistaken, sis. And to my brothers, if you're so comfortable that all you want to do is come home, yo, chill out with the fellas, throw back a couple of beers, and you're not interested in doing the work it takes in order to attain this amazing, wonderful, and fabulous woman who you met at the grocery store or at Home Depot and you saw her and y'all talked or whatever, if you're not willing to do the work, if you think that somebody is going to climb over, scale the wall, tear down the wall that you've built, break into your house, do all the manner of foolishness to be with you, then you're sadly mistaken. It's time to go out. Do something that you love to do. Go to a museum. Like, I don't know if meeting people at plays, I love plays. I don't know if that's a good thing because I go into the play, I'm watching the play, and then I leave, right? So, like, maybe if you're out to dinner in the city, if you guys live in New York or wherever you live, like, open yourself up to the possibility of meeting someone. And for crying out loud, stay off your cell phone when you in stores. Because you meet some amazing people when you're not on your cell phone. I promise you, you do. Maybe you could pretend like you want a phone if it's somebody that you don't find attractive. But if you want to meet somebody, stay off your cell phone. You know, these are just a few things that are going to help you on your journey to meeting somebody amazing. So we don't want to sabotage our relationships. We want some clarity around being in a relationship. What does it look like to you? If I can ask you to do one thing for me before I close, I'm going to ask you to do this one thing. Sit down, put both of your feet on the floor. Be still. Just be still. And I want you to begin to meditate on what you want your life to look like. I want you to begin to meditate on that, right? And when you come, do it for 5 minutes, right? Just really think about what it is that you want your relationship to look like. And when you do that, right, what you're going to do is you're going to, once you're done with your meditation, just take a minute and write down what it is that you see and you saw and how you want your life to look. And then there is a person who fits that narrative. There is a person that is kind to you, that is generous, that really wants to be around you all the time. In fact, they can't even get enough of you, right? They want to cook for you. They want to help you out in any way that they can. They want to love on you. Like, that's what it kind of looks like, right? And you could take it a step further and you can begin to process, right, in a real way. Like, what would vacation look like with your dream partner? Do it look like y'all sitting on the beach drinking a pina colada, virgin or not, strawberry daiquiri? Or are y'all sitting at the bar having some shots? I don't know. Like, what does it look like? Does it look like peace? Does it feel like peace? As you're meditating, what I want you to do, and I'm going to go, I want you to process and allow yourself to go into the space where you actually can see and feel that person's energy, right? You may not know what they look like, but you know what the relationship feels like for you. And I want you to kind of process. I want you to process like how you are going to manifest becoming the person that you see in that relationship and manifest the person that you desire to be with in that relationship. Do y'all get what I'm saying? This is so important because when you truly desire something for your life and you write it down and you have clarity around it and you sit and you meditate and you let go of the fear and all of the hurt and pain that was caused to you by somebody else, it didn't have nothing to do with this new relationship. You got to learn how to trust people. Hey, Tanya, I see you, my sister. I love you. You got to learn how to trust people again. You got to learn how to be open again. And I'm going to leave y'all with this last one because this is too important. I was going to do a part 2 to this, but I want to talk about this. Allowing yourself, both men and women, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to be open, to be open to the possibilities of having somebody wonderful and loving and kind in your life. You have to believe that it exists. And not just that it exists out there somewhere for everybody else, but that it can exist for you. That there is somebody who wants to love you. And in fact, I can almost promise you that the minute you begin to put down your guard and the minute you allow yourself to open up and allow yourself to be vulnerable, right? Even if you got to eke it out a little bit at a time, the minute that you begin to do that is the minute that you will begin, your energy will shift and you will begin to attract to you the people that you truly desire. And not any old body will be coming into your circumference because they don't match and they're not in alignment with who you are and what you want for your life. And that's the truth. Can I tell y'all a story? And I hate being transparent, especially on Facebook, but I'm going to be transparent. I have destroyed many relationships because of fear. I have, and that's the God's honest truth. I mean, I let my fear overtake me. And I have messed up some really wonderful relationships because all they had to do was make one mistake. And if they made a mistake, then I was running. I was out the door. And in fact, Nike is my favorite brand of sneaker. And I promise y'all, I wore sneakers every day, especially when I was commuting into the city in Queens and Brooklyn and all those different places when I was working. I always had on sneakers. It's nothing for me to put on sneakers and to run from everything that even tries to present itself to me, right? And so, exactly, it was a real fear, false evidence appearing real. Exactly, Kokisha. And so what happened is I didn't really trust anybody. And when you don't trust anybody with your heart, when you're kind of like really putting yourself in this place of bondage, right? One of the things that you have to do is learn how to trust again. But first you have to trust yourself. And you're not going to trust yourself if you're not making great decisions. You're only going to begin to learn to trust yourself when you show up for yourself one step at a time. Like meaning, let me break that down. When you say, this is what I'm going to do in my life, and then you follow up with what it is that you said you were going to do. This way you start building some trust within yourself. So when you honor who you are, that's how you build trust, right? You do not build trust, and I'm being honest. You do not build trust when you let yourself down. You got to trust yourself first and learn how to trust your own judgment. And you only do that when you have clarity. Because there's some things like I'm not ready to change in my life, and I know that, right? So I'm not going to try to make it something giant and big and say tomorrow no. Okay, so this would be me. I'm going to the gym 7 days a week at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm gonna do my thing. That's a lie, and I know I ain't gonna do that. So I ain't gonna start there. I'm gonna say, Kim, you're gonna get to the gym 3 times this week. You're making a promise to yourself, and I'm gonna keep my commitment to myself. And that's how I begin once again to trust myself, because I then begin to honor what it is that I said that I wanted for me. And as a direct result of me honoring myself and honoring my word to me, I begin to trust myself and trust my decisions again. And a lot of times people cannot trust themselves and trust their decisions and trust what they see in front of them because they haven't done the inner work yet. And the inner work is really important because you're not going to get there to everything, all of this manifestation of everything good and beautiful and pretty and nice in your life, unless there is some internal work that is being done within you. And my suggestion is begin to do the work in you. And the second half of that is when you begin the process of your own healing and your own speaking life into yourself. What you end up ultimately doing is you end up, your mindset begins to be transformed, right? And then on top of that, the people that you meet, you attract a different energy. And when you attract that energy and you realize, like, I don't want to be afraid, I want to love and I want to be loved, right? You attract that energy to you as well. But then here's the thing, the other parts of your healing are only going to come when you're in the relationship, because you cannot work this stuff out in a bubble and it's only you. You can't. It's impossible. The only advice and the only person that you have checking you is you, and it doesn't work like that. The real change and the real work comes when you get into the Sandra, I see you, sis. I see you. I love you. The real work starts and begins, right? When you begin to get in the relationship and you realize that there are some things that you need to change within you. Nobody's making you change. Nobody's manipulating you. Nobody's trying to control you. You're making executive decisions with the word of God, right? Rooted in the word of God, allowing the Holy Spirit to lead you and guide you. And then you will become, right, all that God wants for you to become. It's not easy, but you don't get to your better and greater self. You really don't, without there being something to refine you, and relationships refine who you are. They really do. And people don't want to be in relationships because they don't want anybody telling them anything. They don't even want to hear what your suggestions are. They think, I don't want to change. I want to stay the way that I am, blah, 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 blah. Maybe, just maybe that's another reason why you're single. Allow yourself to trust. Everybody's not out there to get you. And here's the other thing, right? Because you have a good heart, right? I want to say this and I'm going to jump off here. You got a good heart. You know that you're a good person. You know you're not out here doing all kind of shenanigans and tomfoolery out here in these streets, right? You know who you are at your core, right? One of the key things that I want you to realize is that if you exist, and you do, then there are other people out there that exist as well, that are just as loving, just as kind, and people who are doing the work that you are beginning to do in you, right? If you exist, then there is somebody else who exists that is the right match for you, who is in the same headspace as you, right? The only thing we have to do is be careful that when we, and as we attract people to us, right, that we are attracting people that are on the level of where we're going and where we want to be. Have y'all ever heard of the saying, hey, Shonda, I see you, baby. Have y'all ever heard of the saying, if you want to be a millionaire, then you need to be in a room with a bunch of millionaires, right? The question would be like, how do I get there? You can't hang around with busted people, busted mindset people. You can't be around people who are not living the way that they ought, right? And expect to become a millionaire. It just don't work like that. It just don't, right? You got to put yourself, be intentional about where you place yourself, and you know, in this life, like being around people who are going in the direction that you're going in. It's important, right? So if you're going to be out here dating with this desire of your heart to be in right relationship with somebody and have them love you. You got to be ready to love, and you got to be ready to learn, and you got to be ready to grow, and you got to be ready to like put in the work, right? And that may require you doing something different, right? Because most of the time, most of the people I hang out with, like for real, they have an elevated level of consciousness. Like they just do, right? And not because I'm so special. I'm trying to be, in a real way, the least intelligent person in the room. I promise y'all I am. Because I want to learn. I want to grow. So if I want to grow in ministry, if I want to grow in my life, I need to be around people who can teach me how to be a better version of myself. And it's the same process in relationships. That's why it's important for women to pick to be in a relationship with a man who is a leader. You want to be around anybody who can't lead you anywhere, who can't teach you anything, who they me, I'm a reader. So I'm like, they ain't pick up a book in 10 years. That's important to me. You know what I'm saying? It may not be important to you if he's a reader or not. It's just important to me, right? Because I like to read books, and maybe he could tell me to read a book that's going to elevate my consciousness. It's going to help me to see differently, right? So this is all I'm actually trying to say. I think that sometimes we're single because we don't realize how we play an intricate part by not being intentional and just allowing anything to go into flow into our lives. We're single because we're looking for perfection in these flawed human beings, because we're flawed human beings and we exist, right? And if we exist flawed, then why would we think there's going to be this perfect person, right? Don't work like that. So in all, I'm just, just saying this. If y'all watching this on the replay, #replay for me. I wanted to say this. I haven't been doing this the last couple of times I've been on. I have a class. It's called Unlocking Your Love, right? And it's a class we meet every Tuesday at 8 p.m. It is absolutely dope. I have a dope group of people who I mentor and I coach. And the things that we talk about is we talk about our own healing. And I know it's unlocking your love, but what you want to do is you want to begin to attract people to you. Yeah, okay. Can I just say this? I'm going to say this. I keep saying this is one more thing. I got to say this, right? For some reason, y'all ever notice that when a woman is being loved properly, right? Or a man for that matter, right? For that matter. Do you ever notice that there is a glow about them when they're being loved? Y'all come with me. Y'all say something. Say something. Talk to me in the chat. I need y'all to talk to me in the chat. You ever notice that there is a glow or there's something when a woman or a man feels loved, respected, right, cared for? Y'all ever notice that there's a glow and they are like, you be like, oh, you glowing. Look at you, sis. Or, oh, she done turned you out. Okay. You play with your male friends or whatever. I see you. Look at you dressing up a little extra something because you done met this woman, right? That's what happens, right? But check this out. It's not an external thing. It's an internal thing. I say to women, you ever realize that it's either feast or famine? Either you meeting a whole bunch of men. When you get in a relationship, all of a sudden men start coming out of the woodwork, right? Men start coming out of the woodwork. It's crazy. And you be like, well, wait a minute. Where all these men coming from as soon as I get in a relationship? You know why? They say it's either feast or it's famine. But what happens is when you're in a relationship, you're happier. You're glowing. Because it's not just because it's new, but because you feel good. You feel amazing. You feel like you kind of sometimes floating on air. You don't know if you're in love yet, but you feel good just to be like somebody wants you. Somebody desires you. Somebody wants to be in your company, right? So check this out. Check this out, y'all. The reason why that is, it's either feast or famine. It's because when a woman or a man is being loved right, their energy shifts. When you're low and you don't feel good, that's the energy that you give out. But when you feel good about who you are, when you show up in your full regalia, when you're confident and you're smiling. Now, somebody said, well, I guess I got to get me a man in order to duplicate that. I said, no, no, no. We're going to replicate that. This is what unlocking your love is doing. It's teaching you to first go in so that you can come out. It's what my class is teaching. It's teaching you to duplicate the energy through self-love. It's teaching you to duplicate the energy of love through self-awareness. Because once we are aware of something, it no longer has power over us. And a lot of people can't see themselves. They stuck in a way, right? They can't see. They think, oh, I'm good, I'm Gucci, right? Really, you're not, right? And a lot of times we don't understand what's stopping us from attracting to ourselves the love of our lives, right? And there's a lot of single women out here that when they're in relationship, they are much more attractive than when they're not, and they don't know how to replicate that energy. I want to teach you how to replicate that energy by first going in so that it would then pour out. Because it's not another person that needs to love on you in order for you to feel good about who you are and how you show up in rooms. But you have to be self-aware about how you show up in rooms. And that's the truth. And a lot of us, we're not sure how we show up, and we think we dope. We be like, I'm dope. I got it going on. I'm cute. But baby, it's your energy. And I've been trying to tell women and men this for the longest time. I don't have problems meeting people, not because I'm cute, but because I got good energy. And I really, really like talking to people. And I'm really friendly when I go outside. I'm always meeting both men and women in the grocery store. People just walk up to me and they just talk to me. And some of that is because of what God has told me to do. Some of it is the body of work that I must do. But some of it is because, and this is real talk, because of the way that I just show up, and sometimes I smile at people, and I don't just smile at them and say hello and look away. I look them directly in their eye and let them know that they matter. And especially in this social economy that we are in today, with the way people are hating on one another and treating one another, and they look past people as if they don't even matter. Sometimes you're the only bright light people see. And so when you shift your energy, not only is the light of God emanating and resonating from within inside you, the Holy Spirit is doing what it does. But the other part of that is, are you giving off the energy to attract to yourself the things that you desire for your life? That's what my class is all about. It's about unlocking your love. Real talk. And so my intention is to, open up the doors and allow new people in to my group. I want the people that in the New York metropolitan Long Island area to come on out to the Emotions Forum on Wednesday, because we're going to be doing a dating game this week, whether they married or single. I'm going to be asking questions. How would you handle this? What would you do about that? It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, yes, 20 years of marriage. Yes, Kokisha. Yes. And it's like you want to begin to replicate the energy that says to you, I'm open, I'm available, I'm easy to talk to, I'm not difficult, but I'm not taking a whole bunch of foolishness either. Let's be clear. Because we ain't doing all of that. If you come over here, come correct or stay home. That part. right? I love y'all like cook food. I am missing Rachel Maddow. I do not miss Rachel on a Monday. I love y'all, but I got to go. I'm gonna come back with a part 2 to this. I might come back tomorrow, before the debates. All right. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful evening, and God bless y'all. All right. Love y'all.